Is 1989's Pet Sematary even any good? We have another Stephen King book adaptation here. It is the second one so far this year in our Halloween movie extravaganza, whatever we're going to call it. In a nutshell, a guy and his family move to the country and find out that there's a pet cemetery in the back lot of their property. Well, when their cat dies, the neighbor lets the dad know that if you go a little bit further, there's an Indian burial ground back there. So they bury the cat, and the cat comes back. And it's not quite the same, but the cat is back. Well, unfortunately, later on in the movie, their son dies. And obviously, you know, the dad buries the son back there. He raises from the dead. Hijinks ensue. As far as what I like here, I really like this story, and I could see myself preferring it in book form. I feel like there's a lot more depth that I'm missing when I watch this movie. The cast here, it's okay, I guess. The standout obviously being Fred Gwynne as their neighbor, Judd Crandall. And I really like the setup of this movie. It really takes its time to get you used to the property and the surrounding areas. And by the time this thing really kicks off, I kind of feel like I'm a neighbor of this family. I feel like I live on the street. I feel very invested in what's going on. This movie, like most Stephen King, takes place in Maine. And if you've watched a lot of Stephen King movies, I feel like I've been here before in a good way. This movie has three very distinct horror angles going for it. Number one, Victor the ghost guy. He pops up here and there to give the dad ominous advice. Very creepy. Number two, the horrifying Zelda. This is the mom's dead sister that haunts her in her dreams, I guess, or in her daydreams. I'm not really sure what's always going on here, but she's accusing her of being responsible for her death when she was a child, and the mom here is very traumatized by death. And you cannot talk about this movie without talking about the third horrifying thing in this movie, and that is Gage, the son who, once he comes back to life, not good. Not good at all. I think the thing that makes this story in this movie really hit home is that as a parent, there's just enough sense going on here with this pet cemetery that I have 5 kids, and so I'm watching this movie and it makes you sit there and think, if this happened to me, would I do this? And I think that's really the biggest strength here, is the movie makes you sit there and question everything that you thought you knew about morality, about life and death, and about right and wrong. There are some minor dislikes here. I can't quite put my finger on it, but something's just not quite right with this flick. The acting is a little bit off, except for Fred Gwynne, who I already mentioned. He is excellent in this. Very believable. Also, I find it a little unbelievable that no one has ever done anything at all about just how insanely fast these trucks are driving on this country highway. It's insane. And the ending is a little cheesy, and honestly, for me, I probably would have preferred something a little ambiguous, or just cut the little tail off the end of the movie. I feel like there was an ending spot that I was really happy with, and being I wonder what happened, and then they tagged on an ending. I didn't super love that little piece that's kind of tacked on. And also, on the Wikipedia earlier, I saw that the director of the movie, she wanted it to be ambiguous or vague or an unhappy ending, actually. As far as ages, I'm going to go 13 plus with this. Maybe a little higher, just because there's just too much darkness and depression here for anybody really much younger than that to understand and really appreciate the story here. For my score, I'm going to go with a 7.2. There's still way more to like here than not like, but I really wanted to like this more than I ended up liking it. And at times, I thought I was watching one of the best horror movies of all time. But just in the end, something was a little bit off for me. Either way, it's important to remember that sometimes dead is better.